This video is sponsored by PTCGLstore.com, a great place for you to buy Pokemon TCG code cards. Please remember to use my code NIGHT22 at checkout so that you can get a 5% discount. Before going into the video, please take a second to click that like button. Let's set a goal of leaving at least 200 likes to this video. And we're on the road to getting 9,000 subscribers to this channel, so please subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you all so much for all of your support, and I hope you guys are enjoying the content I put out in this channel. With that said, let's get into the video. In today's video, I'll be showcasing Machamp from the Scarlet and Violet 151 expansion set. This Pokemon card is actually pretty awesome. It has the ability Guts. If your opponent's Pokemon attacks this Machamp and reduces its HP down to 0, you flip a coin, and if it's heads, it will not get knocked out, and instead, it will continue to survive with just 10 HP remaining. And its attack is also great. For 2 fighting energies, Mountain Chopping deals 100 damage, and your opponent also has to discard 2 cards from the top of their deck. While this attack does not deal an impressive amount of damage, the fact that you are also milling 2 of your opponent's cards can be very disruptive because it may just remove important cards that they would otherwise need. And most importantly, if your Guts allows you to survive enough turns, you may just also be able to mill your opponent's deck to win the game. To power up its attack, we'll be relying mostly on Reversal Energy. When you're behind on prizes, it will count as 3 energies of any type to your evolution non-rule box Pokemon. And to add further milling to your opponent's deck, I'm also using a few copies of Misfortune Sisters. You look at the top 5 cards of your opponent's deck, and if any of them are item cards, you can discard as many of them as you want. I'm utilizing the Infinite Supporter combo in this build, using Team Yell's Cheer to recover up to 3 in any combination of Pokemon and supporter cards from your discard pile back to the deck. This can help you recycle your Misfortune Sisters. And I also have Celine. With a chance of up to 2 successful coin flips, you can recover up to 2 of any cards from your discard pile and put them to the top of your deck in any order. You will need this to recover your pile pad and even your Reversal Energy. And just to make it interesting, I also added 1 copy of this Machamp with the Crisis Muscles ability, which increases its total HP up to 300 HP if your opponent has 3 or fewer prize cards remaining. And I also added 1 copy of Rock Chestplate just for this Machamp, so that it will receive 30 less damage from attacks, making it a lot harder to get knocked out. But it also has a great attack. For 2 fighting energy, Strong Arm Lariat deals 100 plus damage, and you may choose to deal 200 damage instead, given that you will not be able to attack with this Machamp on your next turn. I did add 1 copy of Florges to remove our Pokemon's weakness, but I'm actually thinking of just replacing this one with Annihilate for a last minute 1-hit KO with Rage Fist. But yeah, I really like this Machamp with the Orbeetle engine, and I just want to remind you that this is an RNG based strategy, so you won't always win every game, especially when you only keep flipping tails. But this build is actually really fun. Anyways, that's pretty much it. You can find the complete deck list in the description below, and now please enjoy the following gameplay videos showcasing Machamp. Alright, on to our first match. My opponent actually lost the coin flip, so I've decided to go first. And I will keep this hand. I have Luxray to go into the active spot thanks to its explosiveness ability. And it looks like we're going against Wigglytuff EX. This one has a lot of HP, but we are hitting for weakness because we are a fighting type. We get 3 extra cards from their mulligans, but unfortunately, we drew into 2 Machamps now. That's not good. Got a Nest Ball. And at least we can set up 1 Blipbug, so we got 3 elements in play, which is really nice. So these are the 3 elements that I really want to set up at the very beginning. Luxray, Basic Energy, and at least 1 Blipbug in play. Having Raihan is good and a Reversal Energy, but our first priority is to shuffle back these Machamps. Otherwise, we can't set them up with Orbeetle if it's in our hand. It has to be in the deck. For the meantime, my opponent will start with a Spiritomb in their active spot. They have Jigglypuff and a Mew EX, and they're going to use Iono. Alright, cool. That's one less problem we have to worry about. Hope we don't draw into anything that's going to mess us up. At least we got an Orbeetle from that. That's really good. A bunch of Iono and a Reversal Energy. Having 4 counts of Reversal Energy in this deck is actually pretty helpful. So we have a higher chance of actually drawing into one. So this Spiritomb can block abilities of all Pokemon V. They're gonna use Fade Out, deal 10 damage, and put it back to their hand. That's the effect of Spiritomb's attack. And we got our energy search from our top deck, so going to just get a basic energy and start building up this Blipbug. All we need is actually a rare candy, maybe Raihan to start. And it depends whether or not my opponent can knock out my Luxray before we can use Raihan. But it is at least there if we need it. So I'll just get Raihan, Rare Candy. We got an Orbeetle, so this looks good. Now, their Pokemon doesn't have any energy. I don't think they will be attacking just yet. Even if they evolve into Wigglytuff, because I know Wigglytuff requires at least 3 energies. Unless they have another support card that can accelerate energy or anything like that. But right now, I don't think they do. So, if not, what I'm going to do is just use Rare Candy, evolve Orbeetle, and just use Reversal Energy. Even though it doesn't count as 3, it will just count as 1 colorless energy since we are not behind on prizes. And I'll just set up at least 2 stage 2 Pokemon, maybe 2 Machamps to start, and then go from there. Whether or not they knock out my Orbeetle, we can just set up another one anyways. Okay, they're gonna use Worker, take out their Artisan, which is pretty useless to us actually, because we only have 1 basic Pokemon in the deck right now, and it's already in our bench. My opponent will use Ultra Ball. They're probably gonna grab a Wigglytuff to evolve. No, they're gonna get up a barrel. Alright, I would have probably done the same thing, because you do want to focus on your draw engine before anything else. That's gonna help them get the cards they need in the long run, and that's gonna help them set up their board. But as of right now, they're not gonna evolve into Wigglytuff. They will use the attack lead. Search your deck for a support card and put it to your hand. Alright, so they're gonna get an Iono. So far, I think they lack the cards they need. So what I'm gonna do is just evolve into Orbeetle. We actually got a basic energy. I might just attach that, and I'll just reserve the reversal energy for my Machamps later on. I could use Iono, but having Raihan and this reversal energy is actually pretty good. So what I'm gonna do is just retreat with Luxray, because it has 0 retreat cost, and I'm just gonna use Evomancy to set up at least 2 Pokemon. 2 Machamps sounds good, but I'm gonna go with Gallade. Because if they Iono us, we will lose Raihan, and we will have no way of getting an energy for our Machamp. So at least if we can grab an Iono, maybe, hopefully draw into a reversal energy, power it up, and go from there. But I just need a guarantee. They're gonna use Sharon's Care to get their Jigglypuff from the active, put it back to their hand, and replay it. Okay. So that's one way to remove damage from your Pokemon, and Stompy Stomp will not deal enough damage to knock out our Orbeetle, and that actually reduces their attack by 20. And they're gonna use lead to get Sharon's Care this time, but that gives us an opportunity to set up 2 more stage 2 Pokemon on our bench. So I'm just gonna go with that and just wait out my opponent until they knock out my Orbeetle. But so far, this setup is actually really great. Having Luxray in play is fine. It is eating up at least 1 space, but maybe Seeking Fang can help us get the cards we need at some point. But as of right now, if my opponent manages to knock out our Orbeetle, there's the Wigglytuff EX. There's the evolution. All they need is 1 more energy to start attacking with it. There's a V-Guard energy, which is actually pretty useless against this matchup because we are not a V Pokemon. It is not reducing our attacks whatsoever, but that belt reduces 30 damage. So as of right now, they have 380 defense in a sense. For us to get a 1-hit knockout, we need to hit for 380 damage. But each time we attack, it's dealing 30 less damage. But they will boss my Gallade, but that's fine. We got a reversal energy to power up my Machamp. We are behind on prizes, so this will take effect. And preserving our Orbeetle is actually really good. And now they have 3 Machamps to kind of get through, and we're gonna hope on this Guts to keep us alive. So 170 damage on their Wigglytuff, and we are discarding 2 cards from their top deck every time we attack with it. And with the attack damage output of Wigglytuff, it's not even 1 hit knocking out our Machamp. at this point, because the double turbo energy is even reducing the attack damage of this Wigglytuff. So we will survive a bunch of hits even, but they will boss my Luxray, and they're gonna go for a knockout here. But with that, we can actually use Raihan to power up our other Machamps. So slowly but surely, we will succeed in milling my opponent, or even knocking out a bunch of their Wigglytuff. But let's see what we've discarded so far. 2 boss orders, 2 Aeonos. So far so good. As long as we can discard a lot of the essential cards from their deck, we might even be able to prevent them from setting up even further. But we're gonna use Raihan, power up this other Machamp, and I'll probably just grab, let's see, I can get another reversal energy, but this Misfortune Sisters looks good. I could use that to mill my opponent's item cards, and we're just gonna use Mountain Chopping, deal 170 more damage, and discarding a boss's orders and an Iono, which is actually a big deal because now they can't boss my other Pokemon. They will use Sharon's Care to save Wigglytuff EX, but now they're gonna need to attach another double turbo energy here. Okay, and there's a Wigglytuff. That's the one that can use Balloon Therapy to accelerate therapeutic energy to one of their Pokemon. All right, cool. Very, very nice. Wigglytuff is so tough, man. It's so hard to knock out. Has so much HP, and with that 30 defense, but they will attack, not quite enough to knock out our Machamp. So we will survive an attack. We will use Misfortune Sisters, and that will throw away this Pal Pad, which is pretty significant. So now they can't shuffle back their support cards, and we're just gonna continue with our Mountain Chopping, discarding another Wigglytuff and Trekking Shoes. 3 bosses orders and 3 Ionos and 3 Sharon's Care. Dude, that is actually pretty significant. They have most of the supporters in the discard pile already. That's pretty insane. And they're down to 16 cards left, and it's gonna take quite a bit to knock out our Machamp. Again, depends on our RNG here. Here's a 70 to knock it out. Come on, Guts. You must have guts. Yes! Let's go, Machamp! My opponent is not gonna knock out my Machamp that easily. We even got a reversal energy. We are still behind on prizes, and if they can't knock out our Machamps, they're not getting any prizes. And slowly but surely, we're gonna continue to mill them and slowly knock out their Wigglytuff EX. There it is, guys. 2 energies down, and hopefully we can get rid of their recoveries. They're gonna use Escape Rope, but I'm just gonna present another Machamp with a reversal energy, and hopefully this Machamp's guts is as great as the other one. We'll see if my opponent can knock it out in a single hit. I don't think they can. And they need another energy. Another Jigglypuff, Ultra Ball. They're just thinning out their hands so they can draw with their Bibarel. Industrious Incisors, they need one more energy here. Super Rod, okay, there's a recovery item card. Balloon Therapy, alright, they found the energy. They found the energy, alright. So now they can attack another energy too. So they have 2 attackers, but the other one is about to get knocked out. And Friend Tackle just for 90 damage. Bro, that is crazy. Okay, boss's orders. Is that useful? No, we're just gonna continue with Mountain Chopping. 2 cards discarded. Very cool. Another energy in the drain. So they're down to 6 cards. We just have to survive 3 turns here, and they will require at least 3 turns. They will require 4 knockouts. There's a 90 damage, so that will knock out our Machamp, supposedly. Dude. Let's go, Machamp! We will survive with 10 HP. Another energy to energize our other Machamp, bro. They are not knocking out anything. I will use Team Yell's Cheer here to shuffle back my Misfortune Sisters and 2 other cards to the deck. And we're gonna continue on, guys. Alright. Yeah. There's really no use right now. Mountain Chopping. Deal another 170 damage. Discarding 2 more cards from their deck. They're down to just 3 cards left. And that should do it. And they're just gonna use Professor's Research. That will draw all of their cards. They're gonna attack. I want to live. Come on, Machamp. Do you want to live? Oh, okay. They got 1 knockout, but they have ultimately decked out. And all we need to do is just pass this turn to win us the game. And there you have it, guys. Machamp is unkillable. My opponent decks out and we win this game without even taking any prizes. Wow, good game. Good job, Machamp and their guts. Alright, on to our next match. My opponent actually won the coin flip, but they've decided to let me go first, so that's okay. I will keep this hand, so we have Luxray to go into the active. And they have Color's Experiment. Looks like we're going against a Lost Zone mechanic build here. So we gotta really be careful. A very high tier deck to go against for sure. Got an extra card from their mulligan. Misfortune Sisters. And sure enough, this is the Lost Box. Got another rare candy from our top deck. And first things first is we gotta set up our Blipbug. I could try this Hisuian Heavy Ball. Maybe 1 is prized. And sure enough, 1 is prized. Alright. Very nice. I could just save my Ultra Ball here. Maybe I can evolve into an Orbeetle. And then I'm just going to pass. After attaching an energy to our Luxray, we cannot attack on our first turn. So Misfortune Sisters could actually help here. Maybe, because I know a lot of Lost Box builds have a lot of item cards, so that could actually throw away their, what is that, Mirage Gate maybe. But they will use an escape rope, and now we are in a dangerous position because now they have the means to knock out my Blipbug, and that's gonna require me at least 2 more turns before I can set up an Orbeetle here. So hopefully, without another Comfey in sight, they might not build up that 4 cards in the Lost Zone to attack with Cramorant for free. But we'll see. A lot of Lost Box engines is very fast paced, and they can just build up a lot of Pokemon really quickly. And a lot of switching cards for sure. There's the 1 energy on Giratina V, but they didn't use their Comfey, and our Blipbug survives. Alright, I am actually okay with that. So we survive another turn. We will use Misfortune Sisters, and we got Escape Rope and a Switch. That could actually be a very big deal here. We got a Switch on of our own, and we will set up another Blipbug just in case. Now we have an insurance. So my opponent cannot interfere with our setup here. I will just get another Misfortune Sisters and Raihan. If they manage to knock out my Luxray, we can use Raihan, accelerate that discarded energy, accelerate it to our Blipbug, and we have Ultra Ball so that we can get Orbeetle, and then we can evolve. Hopefully we can set up at least 4 Pokemon here if my opponent manages to knock out my Luxray. But slowly but surely, they are building up their Giratina V. They will switch out into another Comfey to use his flower selecting ability. Put 1 in the Lost Zone and 1 in your hand. Alright, that's pretty dangerous. And they're just gonna pass. Alright, their slow start is actually helping us a little bit. I will use Energy Search that we got from our top deck and start building up at least 1 of our Blipbugs. And I will use Misfortune Sisters. We got Battle VIP Pass and a Cross Switcher. which could again be a very big deal so that they don't switch out our Pokemon. I will use Seeking Fang one more time here and see what I can do. I pretty much have everything I need in my hand right now, but I could use a Palpad and Celine. Could help us to reshuffle our Misfortune Sisters and then use Celine to shuffle back this Palpad back to the deck, and then that's gonna help us to keep the infinite supporter card loop going. So we can pretty much have an unlimited amount of support card by just continuing to recover our support cards with Celine, Palpad, and Team Yell's Cheer. For the meantime, my opponent is setting up another Giratina V, Colress Experiment, adding 2 more cards in their Lost Zone. That's pretty dangerous. Now they can attack with Cramorant for free, but that's not gonna knock out our Luxray. But they do have full energy on their Giratina V, and this one can deal 160 damage. That is unblockable. So Shred will knock out our Luxray, but that will put 1 energy card in our discard pile, and that will allow us to use our Raihan actually. Very nice. Alright, cool. So we'll use Raihan, accelerate this 1 energy in our discard pile, and I could just grab a double turbo energy probably to at least be able to set up 4 stage 2 Pokemon in our bench. So grab double turbo energy, that will preserve our reversal energies to use for our Machamps. And then we're gonna use Ultra Ball to grab our Orbeetle, and yeah, we'll just get rid of these 2. Can evolve the active, use double turbo energy, and then we can set up 4 stage 2 Pokemon on our bench. I could use my Palpad already actually, but I will preserve it. We can always just use it next time. Evimancy will help us to set up 3 Machamps and 1 Gallade. I will just focus on these 3. I think I could put the other Machamp, but I think I'll just focus on these 3. That's fine. I might not be able to showcase the other Machamp, but since this is our main showcase, this is fine. They are down to 23 cards in their deck. We might just be able to mill them slowly but surely, and it really doesn't matter. If my opponent knocks out my Machamp, we have Guts to hopefully survive an attack, but I'm thinking Giratina V-Star's V-Star Power Attack is actually an effect. It's an instant KO, so that's not gonna... Machamp's Guts ability will not take effect, so they have that potential to knock out our Machamp instantly, and Guts will not help at all. Alright, they're gonna go for another knockout against our Orbeetle, so now my opponent takes 2 prizes, and now it starts, guys. We will put our Machamp, our first Machamp, in the active spot, and we even got a reversal energy from our top deck. That is insane. And then I could just get oh, we ran out of Raihan. Okay, just get an Arvin then. See if I can Palpad, Raihan, and Misfortune Sisters. That would have helped to accelerate another energy to one of our other Machamps, but that's fine. That's available to us now next turn when we use our Gallade. And let's see, it really won't help to add extra HP to Machamp here, or extra defense, but I don't know. Let's see here. I could just get this Bravery Charm and an Ultra Ball. I could evolve into another Orbeetle just in case, but for now we're just gonna use Mountain Chopping, deal 100 damage to their Giratina V, and that will discard a boss's orders and a cross switcher. All right, cool. So those are 2 cards, really important cards actually. Again, that will keep our Machamp in the active without that cross switcher and a boss orders. Without a boss orders, they cannot boss. Alright, escape rope. I could just present my other Machamp. Again, we could survive an attack if we can just guts it out, but it really depends on RNG, right? Alright, so I'll just switch out this Machamp for now. But the thing is, we'll need an energy. I could grab an Iono from the deck. Maybe we can draw into a reversal energy, power up my active, and continue to mill my opponent that way. But we'll see what my opponent does here. They have Sableye ready to go. If they have 10 cards in their lost zone, they could start spreading damage. But the downside to that is if my opponent knocks out Machamp, it survives an attack, it will leave with 10 HP left, and if they spread those damage with Sableye, they can get multiple knockouts. So Cramorant will spit innocently for 110 damage. That will keep my Machamp alive here. We just need a reversal energy. Let me take out their stadium with ours. And we got heads. Alright, cool. I actually might just grab an Orbeetle here and just evolve my Blipbug. That's one less Pokemon that they can knock out with Sableye. I mean, they can, but, you know, more HP. More HP to spread for them. And let's see what we got here. I'm gonna go for Arvin. Can get a switch from our deck. That way we don't have to worry about... Yeah, we only have Escape Rope and a Rock Chestplate. Alright, that's fine. I'll just put one on this Machamp. I mean, that does reduce attack damage, so that's fine. We're going to use Escape Rope, push their Cramorant back to their bench, and then we're just going to continue to attack with this Machamp with the Reversal Energy, and then keep milling my opponent's deck. Alright, they're gonna go for a Comfey in the active spot. Alright, we can actually knock it out. So we're gonna go with this Machamp. And we're just gonna use Mountain Chopping. Knock out this Comfey in the active spot. That gets us our first prize. And we actually got a Mirage Gate from those discarded cards, which is really, really good. That's gonna prevent them from energizing their Pokemon. So, alright, they will present their Giratina VSTAR in the active spot. So, with enough cards in the lost zone, they can deal instant knockout, or they can just knock out my Machamp with a regular attack, but we have guts. As long as our active Machamp has the guts and the willingness to live on, it will survive an attack, and we can continue to mill my opponent's deck. They failed the Mesagoza coin flip. Alright, that's a good thing. Then we'll see what my opponent does. Colress Experiment. Alright. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Put 3 in your hand, 2 in the lost zone. So that should set up their V-Star power attack for the most part. Again, if they can deal a instant knockout, we cannot survive that, but we'll see what my opponent does here. We'll see. They're down to 9 cards left in their deck. They will use Lost Impact, just a regular attack. They will put energies in their lost zone, 2 of them. All right, come on, guts. You must have guts. Yes. Let's go, Machamp. My opponent is not gonna knock out my Machamp that easily. We even got a reversal energy. If they can't knock out our Machamps, they're not getting any prizes. I will just use Buddy Catch to, I think, use Misfortune Sisters, because if we can throw away their item cards, let's see what we get here. Dude, 2 Mirage Gates, that is insane. Let's go. Let's go. Mountain Chopping for another 100 damage. Switch and Luminion V down the drain. Now they're down to 4 cards left in their deck. That was actually an insane Misfortune Sisters effect, discarding 2 of the important cards that will supposedly energize their Giratina VSTAR, but now they cannot attack. They still managed to get 2 cross switchers to switch our Machamp with 110 HP damage, or 110 damage, hoping for a knockout with this Cramorant for 0 energy. But then here we go, come on, do you want to live, Machamp? Yes, you do! Let's go, Machamp! I want to live! So now we just gotta figure out how to get it out of the active spot. Unless we can use Iono and hopefully get another reversal energy from our deck, right? Let's go ahead and try that. We have 5 card draw here. Alright, we got a double turbo energy. We can actually use that to just retreat. So we're just gonna hard retreat with that. So that's pretty awesome. And we're just gonna continue with this Machamp with damage already. Deal 100 damage to their Cramorant, not quite enough to knock it out, but that will discard an energy and a Battle VIP pass, and that will dwindle down their deck down to 3. So we have 2 more turns here so we can deck out my opponent. Hopefully they don't have any more recovery cards, but this is it. This is insane. That Misfortune Sister's turn was actually really awesome. So Cramorant will spit innocently for 110 damage. Come on. Keep living, Machamp. Keep living. Let's go. That's crazy. All right. We got 1 energy to energize our other Machamp. This is insane. My opponent is unable to knock out my Machamps. This is crazy. This must be very frustrating for my opponent. It must be very annoying. But you know what? Slowly but surely, we are just gonna continue to knock out this Cramorant. Discard 2 more cards. They're down to just 1 card left in their deck. And during their turn, they will draw it. And even if they knock out 2 of our Machamps, we have 1 more left to go, and we can actually just pass next turn. They will not take all of our prizes unless they can recover more cards here. And they don't, so they will take 2 knockouts here, but you know what? Because they don't have cards left in their deck, that will actually win us the game, and all we have to do is pass to win the game. But these 2 Machamps have been champions of surviving attacks. It is insane. This matchup was actually really, really awesome. These Machamps are just unkillable, man. That's that's pretty awesome. Alright, well, my opponent will take their last prize here, but not quite enough to get all 6. That will leave them with 2, but with no cards left in their deck, all we have to do is end our turn to win the game. Wow, that was actually an insane battle. There it is, guys. Machamp is unkillable, and it is annoyingly disruptive. Wow, very good game. And that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to smash the like button for me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching the Popsicleknight channel, and as always, stay safe and have a great day.